Welcome to the Hot Corner Show on the ISPS Radio Podcast Network with your host, Dr. Ray, the softball-playing chiropractor and the official chiropractor of ISPS, and Manuel T. Ferrero III, the commissioner of International Slow Pitch Softball. Listen to the Hot Corner Show every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the ISPS Radio Podcast channel. Call the show at 347-637-3978 and talk sports and health topics with Dr. Ray, plus slow pitch softball from around the world with Manuel T. Ferrero III, fantasy sports, special guests, and more. Call the show now on the special guest call-in hotline at 347-637-3978. Now, bring your A game, because you're about to experience the Hot Corner.
All right, welcome in, everybody. How we doing tonight? It is me, your host, as always, Dr. Ray, the softball-playing chiropractor, here with you on the Hot Corner on ISPS Radio. It's another Wednesday night. It's 7 o'clock, and it's time to get down to business here, my friends. We got a lot going on today. We have one of the state directors from ISPS on the line with us today in a little while, Mr. Gabe Caride. He's going to be talking about the Florida State Championships, and we also have a major announcement coming from Gabe today, so stay tuned for that. We're going to do a recap of the MLB All-Star Game with good old Henry from Henry's Baseball Club. If you guys haven't heard Henry before, you want to stick around and listen to what Henry's got to say. Very knowledgeable, and for all you guys out there thinking about playing professional baseball, Henry's the guy that you want to listen to. We also have our health topic of the night. It's going to be all about the thyroid and why the thyroid is usually not the problem, but why 3 out of 4 people over the age of 40 are on thyroid medication. So we're going to be talking about that. We're not going to be talking too much fantasy baseball because of the All-Star break, but we do have a lot to get into tonight. So I want to remind you guys that the show, the guest call-in number is 347-637-3978. And you guys can always find us on social media. You can tweet us at ISPSO. You can tweet me at Dr. Ray T. You can go on Facebook, facebook.com/ISPSO, facebook.com/353HEAL, and you can send us a message or whatever you want to get on the show tonight if you have any input. If you played in the tournament this past weekend, if you watched the All-Star Game, if you're on thyroid medication, go ahead and give us a call tonight and tell us about what's going on. We're going to get there in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to go ahead and introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the man who makes this all possible, the commissioner of ISPS Radio, of ISPS Softball, and also the co-host of ISPS Radio, Mr. Manuel T. Ferrero USA.
Yo, Dr. Ray, what's going on? Dr. Ray, how are you, man? How is everything in Dr. Ray land?
Man, everything is going great. You know how that is. I've been a little bit busy this past week with some personal stuff. My fiance had to do a little surgery and some stuff, but everything is in good shape. She's doing really well. So everything is going great. How about for you?
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, man, about her, and send out my positive vibes and everything to you and your family, Dr. Ray. But man, nothing better over here, Dr. Ray. Going day by day. We just hosted the Florida State Championships in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida this past weekend. Congratulations to US Tech, and also congratulations to Comp Glass. Comp Glass is one of our actual Winter World champions, and they should be receiving their Winter World rings pretty soon. But they also are now our 2015 state champions in the co-ed division. So congratulations to them. And nothing much, Dr. Ray. I'm excited to talk to Henry, man. We haven't spoken to Henry in a while. And what better topic to talk to Henry about than the All-Star Game and Major League Baseball, which, by the way, man, I don't know if you saw the Home Run Derby Man, I love the new format. Maybe we could talk to Henry about that. The new format really kept me tuned in. I like the new format. I don't know what you thought of it, Dr. Ray, but in my opinion, that was an A+ by Major League Baseball with the new format in the Home Run Derby.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you anymore. I know that they've been trying to change things here and there, little by little. It almost seems like there's been a new format almost every year as of late. But this by far has been my favorite. I hope this one sticks around. And we'll get into that a little bit more. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think it's so great to talk about. Why don't we go ahead and let's take a quick break right now. And when we come back, why don't we go ahead and let's get Henry on the line here and let's talk about MLB. Let's talk about the All-Star Game. Let's talk about the Home Run Derby. And then we'll go ahead and after that, we'll get into all the events. We'll talk about the Florida States. And then again, we'll get ready for that major announcement coming up a little bit later. But for right now, let's go ahead and let's get to Henry right after this break right here.
Frontier Spine and Healthcare brings you the cutting edge in healthcare with all the newest research and techniques in natural medicine. Although many people share the same symptoms, they all have them for different reasons. Using thorough physical examination and the newest technology in diagnostic testing, we can truly discover why you have the symptoms you do. Remember that good doctors know what you have, but great doctors know why. Call 786-353-HEAL or click www.353heal.com to schedule your appointment and experience the future of medicine today. Predictive, preventive, and personalized. Frontier Spine and Healthcare. Area code 786-353-HEAL or www.353heal.com.
All right, and we are back again right now, and we are going to go ahead and start talking about some baseball coming up right here. We had the AL versus the NL last night, all the All-Stars, and we got the best guy to probably talk about that on the line with us right now. Henry, are you there with us tonight?
Yes, just so you know, I have Dan. He's one of my players from a while back. I didn't know if you would give Dan a little bit of time to talk also. He's on the line.
Hello.
Yeah, Dan, just let me talk, okay? A long time ago, I found Dan at one of the parks, and I told him that the next day there was a tryout if he wanted to go try out. And lo and behold, the next day the pitching coach for the Brockton Rocks, the field manager, and the general manager were there to see the new talent. So in 16 hours, I had a pro trial for him to go to in the bullpen at the stadium with the Brockton Rocks. It was arranged by Henry. So for people out there that don't understand and wait too long, you know, you're wasting your own time. Find something to do because MLB does not like old people. And I'm trying to be kind of polite when I talk about it. That's just reality. So Dan went and tried out, and they talked about the possibility that maybe he could come in on games when they were at home so he could maybe do 4 or 5 innings. But they liked what they saw overall. But I think he had a small injury at that time, and he wasn't able to perform 100%. But Dan is now in California and has like a clinic, and he teaches people how to play ball. So the stuff that he learned is stuff that I kind of showed him a little bit and stuff, you know. So, but anyway, he wants to talk about the World Series also. I mean, it was fantastic. I picked up the Herald today. And the whole back is all about the World Series. The headline was Brock soaks it up. So, and then it's got the box scores. So, go ahead if you is it all right for Dan to talk a little bit, talk about what he's doing?
Yeah, let's
Hello?
go ahead, Dan. Let's hear.
Go ahead, Dan.
Hello, how's it going? How's it going, Dr. Ray?
Hey, really well, Dan. Thanks for coming on the show here. So what do you got going on over there? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, well, right now, I'm a former pro baseball player, and right now I'm focusing on just coaching private baseball lessons. I have my own business, and I'm also on the very popular baseball site called Coach Up. I'm not sure if you heard of that.
No, I haven't.
Why don't you tell us
a little bit of
Yeah, Coach Up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Coach Up.
Yes, it's called Coach Up. Just you go to coachup.com, It's a very popular website, like I said. Stephon Curry, he's part owner, and the other guy from the New England Patriots. What's that wide receiver? He's from the East Coast.
Yeah, Edelman.
Edelman, yes.
Oh, yes.
They have videos, success story videos up with them. So anyhow, I'm doing so well. I have the most 5-star reviews in all of California. And Coach Up also, they flew out to see me, and they filmed my success story, and it's actually on the main website right now. So if you go to coachup.com, you will see Stephon Curry's video right up there, and then you'll see mine right on the main page as well. So I'm doing really well there. And like I said, I have my own business, and my own business is bigleaguerbaseball.com. So I'm just trying to help out kids and help out anybody really in baseball or softball in the future generations.
Excellent. What position did you play when you were a professional?
Shortstop and utility.
You have to play all positions, you know?
Yeah, I pitched a little too.
Well, that's what he tried for with the Brockton Rocks, and they felt that he was good enough, but they never called after that. So maybe they said one thing and did another. I don't know. But a lot of these teams, they say something and then they don't follow up on it. But I did what I could for him that day. But it's not every day that you can get a pro trout in 16 hours.
You know,
yeah, definitely.
With the bottom line is, you know?
Oh, definitely.
100%.
Huh?
Well,
hey, so
what,
Henry, what did you think about the All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby? You like the new format?
Yeah, I think it's great. Was it Fraser that won the
Fraser. Downtown goes Fraser.
Yeah, and I have the stats for yesterday's game in front of me. I got the paper. So it all looks pretty good. And it looks like the AL, which is also the Boston Red Sox, would have home game advantage. You know, toward the end of the last, they won 10 out of 15. Go ahead and laugh. You're making me laugh. They won 10 out of 15. You know?
Yeah, no.
I mean, they're only about 5.5 games out. I don't think that's that far. You know, they can make that up in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
if they play
I'll
good.
tell you what. What was awesome to me about this game was a couple things. Number one, Mike Trout, of course, with the MVP again. First guy, the only guy to ever win 2 back-to-back MVPs. And on top of that, he was the only starter on the AL that wasn't from the Kansas City Royals. Have you ever seen that before?
No, I never seen back-to-back, and obviously it's record-setting. But, you know, there's been some guys that were pretty good in some of those games, like Willie Mays in the old days. I found the guy's name. It's Philip Willett. He used to play in MLB for a long time as a catcher. But yesterday he said, had I called him yesterday, he was Johnny Bench was next to him, and Willie Mays was on the other side of him. So I'm sorry we didn't talk yesterday.
Yeah, that would have been good for sure.
Yeah, well, maybe
No, that would have been amazing.
At a future time, I can try. But you got to understand,
All
I can
right,
only do so much, you know?
Yeah,
Henry can only do so much.
Henry can only do so much. You got to Henry.
You know? Henry's that guy.
Hey, so Henry, where can we find you on the internet? Henry's Baseball Club?
If you go to YouTube and then type in Henry's Baseball. You'll see I interviewed Buddy Biancalana from the 1985 World Series. That was his best time for that World Series. He was errorless in the field. He didn't make one error at shortstop in the 7 games they played. They were down 2-0 and came back to win 4-3. Brett Saberhagen was on the mound, the MVP. And I don't know if you remember a guy named George Brett.
Of course we remember George Brett. Who could forget the pine tar incident?
I've been talking with Greg Pryor. He's the guy that came in after he got kicked out of that game, you know. Did you ever hear of Greg Pryor?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
No, that's
Fill
fine.
Fill us in, Henry.
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh no, I said fill us in. Fill us in. Who is that guy?
Okay. Greg Pryor was the guy that came in to fill in for George Brett when he got kicked out of that game. But nobody knows that. So that's a good trivia question.
There you go. Who was the guy that came in for George Brett after the pine tar incident? That was crazy, huh? How he just went crazy on that umpire.
Well, how often can you hit a home run like that? You know what I'm saying? And they take it away from you. That would get any player upset, especially a player, that's high strung like George Brett could be.
Right.
Good guy and all that, and he's mellow now. But when you're young,
so Henry,
you're fiery.
Henry, I got a question for you, man. I've been listening to a lot of sports talk radio, especially now during the All-Star break.
Yeah,
and they're talking about
for the audience. If you want
to, no, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. We'll ask your question. But who do you think is the new face of Major League Baseball?
Well, I like Brock Holt. I'm sorry. Look what he did last night. Imagine if he had played the whole game. How many people stole a base last night? Tell me.
Yeah, I got you. You got a point. But what about Trout? What about Trout?
Mike Trout.
Yeah, but Trout is the best there is right now. But I'm just saying that I think we have guys coming up that are going to be incredible, especially that lefty pitcher that they just brought up. That is like 5-3 or something.
Hey, what about that?
That's about
what about that?
wins that the Red Sox wouldn't have had if they hadn't brought him up, right?
Right. What about that pitcher? The pitcher with the hair from the New York Mets, man. He struck out the side when he was in there. Incredible, man.
Yeah, I wish the Red Sox had him.
Incredible.
Yeah. Well, some people have a
To me, what was great about the game yesterday and about even the home run derby was, look at how many All-Stars there were that were under even the age of 25. Mike Trout is 23 years old. He's got 2 MVPs. The guy's just racking up the hardware. But think about everybody else. Chris Bryant, look at Jock Peterson. Look at the two guys, and even Todd Frazier is not, too much of a veteran at this point.
And what about Giancarlo Stanton and D. Gordon? They were injured, but they were still All-Stars.
Exactly, and not even there to represent, but exactly, Giancarlo's 23, 24 right now, again, as well, too. There's a lot of great ball players right now, and I think it's just awesome, and it's great for the game. My whole Facebook feed was people talking about the new format, and everybody loved the home run derby, and so to me, that's awesome, because it means people were watching, and, I did see that the All-Star game was one of the lowest ratings, even though the baseball All-Star game is the most watched out of any of the All-Star games, more than the NBA All-Star game, more than the Pro Bowl, more than the hockey All-Star game. And, I think it's awesome. It's America's pastime, and, right now it's the only thing going on, which is probably why it gets all the ratings. But, this is it, man. This is baseball season. It's the Midsummer Classic. You got the 4th of July. It reminds you of Sandlot, with the only night game of the year. And it's just baseball, man. It's baseball time right now, and it's a great time of the year for me. I'm sure the same thing for Henry and same thing for you, Manny. And it's great to be here talking about this. Anything else that we want to talk about, All-Star Game?
Well, there's a pro trial tomorrow morning, and there was one this morning. So a lot of people, I'm sorry, you're preaching to the choir, because I tell these people, if you're old, forget about it. They like young players. By the time you're 18, you should be signed. So by the time you're 22, you're on the verge, AA, AAA, or MLB. They don't like old people. So these guys that go looking to sign at 23, they're not going to sign you, because 5 years later you'll be 28.
Or come play slow pitch softball at ISPS.
Yeah, go see the slow pitch people with the chubby belly, right?
Hey! What's wrong with a chubby belly?
Well, you got to carry that around,
There's nothing wrong with a chubby belly, man. It just means you're happy.
Yeah. It means your heart is working extra hard, too.
Hey, Henry, I've seen pictures of you, man. You can't get away either, man. You got a little belly yourself, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's not that big. Come on. I'm a 40. For a guy my age, I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And I can get up and walk around where some of my friends are already in the ground,
Hey, but you know what? You got a 40. You got a 40, but you got a bunch of pictures with a bunch of nice-looking ladies on your website.
Yeah, well, they don't. You know, sometimes they know that I do the television stuff. So I don't know if you've seen my TV show, but
Of
I
course.
interview a lot of famous
I've seen it
people,
on
so,
YouTube.
Yeah, well, I always try to have a model sitting next to me.
Always next to Henry.
That's right. This is what NBC said. NBC said, get good new content. You know, don't go over the same stuff. Find famous people, which is what I do. You know, people that were in the World Series or owners of minor league clubs, and have a model sit next to you. And the last part of it is intangible. In other words, you have to have personality and get people to watch your show. They're not going to watch if you're dull. So you got to speak up, Henry.
You got to speak up, Henry, so they can hear you.
Yeah, they want to be able to know what you're saying, Henry.
I love it. Henry'sBaseballClub.com, and Dr. Ray, check it out, man. There's some hot models right there next to Henry, man.
Yeah, I didn't have to force them to, you know, look at them smiling. Huh?
Yeah, man, really.
Yeah. Let me ask you, do you have any pictures like that with models, Miss California?
No, man, my wife will kill me. Henry, are you crazy?
Yeah, well, don't tell her.
Don't tell her. They're on the internet.
Yeah, well, I'm single, so I can, you know, take a picture of whoever I want.
Oh,
you know?
Man.
I don't have a ball and chain on me. You know?
Henry,
when I come up to Boston, I'm going to have to hang out with you, Henry. You're going to have to take me out with you.
Right. We'll go down to Fenway and get a couple girls. Is that okay with you?
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I once in a while when I'm there, if I show the, you know, the girls, sometimes they come around with the soda and stuff, because they also have girls do that. When they see the pictures, they say, wow, I can't believe it. And then now I have a World Series ring from the Boston Red Sox.
Wow.
It's not up on my site. But when I wear
you should post a picture of that on your site.
Yeah, I know, but my web guy doesn't have everything up there. That's the problem. These web people, they don't understand baseball.
Henry, you got to fire that guy.
Well, you know, if you fire him, you might get a worse guy, right?
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Well, that
you
guy.
know, web people, they're more, you know, more into, you know, stuff that has nothing to do with baseball. You know, about the weather or, you know, something stupid. You know, the current events. And I tell them, look, these people are famous. Oh, what? Who? Bob Stanley? Who is he? I said he was in the World Series. Oh, no, I never heard of him. You know? So he deleted some of the pictures instead of letting them be up there, you know?
Incredible.
I have probably about 100 pictures that should be up there.
You know what you need to do, Henry? You need to go back to school, learn how to build your own website.
Right.
And do it yourself, man. And you can keep it updated to the minute if you have to.
Yeah. But I also right now have a database with 100,000 baseball players. How am I going to make calls and go to school? You know, you got to pay bills.
Hey, you're single, man. There's 24 hours in each day, man. You're single.
Yeah, but 100,000 baseball players, a lot of calls to make, right?
Well,
don't forget, there's 1,300 scouts and 4,000 college coaches and 19,000 high school coaches. So a lot of calls to make, my friend.
Got a lot of friends, Henry. You got a lot of friends.
Well, I'm just saying, I do what I can each day and then put everything away. Hope for, you know, some of them understand. Because like I said, a lot of these parents, they all think a scout's going to walk up the driveway. That's in a movie. In real life, you go see your trainer, develop your skills, and then go to pro tryouts. That's how it's done. There are no shortcuts. And you better be young. You know?
What about that movie with Randy Quaid, the rookie? You saying that never happened?
See, a while back, things were a little different. But I'm saying in today's market, where you're seeing all those young guys at 22, 23 on the All-Star game, stuff like that, then obviously they must be signing younger players. And all those old guys are getting sent home early. You know, all these guys that come out of college, just because they sign a contract, now they think they're all set. They're not. The minute they have a few bad innings or so many strikeouts, they get sent home.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And people don't like it when you tell them the truth. You know, they tell me stuff like, oh, no, he's going to go to Harvard for 20 years, Henry. Then you can talk to him. I said, who's going to sign a guy 40 or 38, whatever he is? That's crazy. If you want baseball, then you better sign by the time you're 16, 18. In the Dominican Republic, you can sign at 16. In other places like that. And at 18, you come out of high school, you go see and sign your contract. Don't be stupid and think you're going to get more money down the road. Yes, it happens once in a while. It's not a perfect science. You know? A perfect example is that guy with the Mets that had arm problems, Harvey. He decided not to sign. They were offering $1 million. So a few days after he turned down $1 million, he's saying to himself, what did I do? You know, I must be stupid. But, you know, he persevered and did develop his skills, went to college, and later on down the road, you know, he was a Boris client. Boris got him $2.5 million to sign. So that's one that worked his way. But it doesn't always work like that. Not everybody's Steve Harvey.
Right.
Whatever.
Hey, Henry.
Yeah.
Henry, what about younger kids? Because look,
By the time you're 10 or 11, go see a trainer. Try and develop a little skill. Get centered to the ball. Throw the ball low, high, straight to your target. You know, try and develop a little bit. You know, it doesn't hurt. I mean, sure, you want to be a child and a kid, but if you want MLB, then you got to start young. I'm sorry, that's how it is. But don't forget, not everybody's equal. Some people are 6'4" by the time they're 18. Another kid's only 5'6" at 18.
Hey, but look at Miguel Altuve from the Houston Astros, man.
Jose Altuve.
Yeah. Well,
Miguel or Jose? The little second baseman.
Yeah, the 5'6" guy that they talked about.
Yeah, man. What about him? How did he make it?
Yeah, but I mean, obviously there are exceptions. There are guys that persevere. You know, hit me some more grounders, Henry. I want to get better. What do I need to do? Do I need to do stadium steps? How about some overload training? How about learning the 6-12 play? Or the difference between control and command? Or the 4 items to put in an envelope and send to a pro scout or a scouting director? What about the jab step? What about the rocker step? What about if I gave you a puzzle that nobody can solve? So here it is, my friend. Every fielder can do this, but never the center fielder. What is it? Every fielder can do this, but never the center fielder. What is it? That's the question.
What?
That's right. You guys are baseball savvy, and you got all those listeners. Nobody knows anything. Okay, tell me about overload training then. You're so smart.
What was the question again? I'm going to tweet it out to everybody right now.
Yeah. Everybody on the field can do this, all 8 positions, but never the center fielder. There's 9 positions on the field, right? All 8 positions can do this, but never the center fielder. What is it?
What about in softball? Softball has 10 fielders.
Yeah, but sometimes they use that short fielder and they put him somewhere else. I'm talking in baseball in general. Baseball where there's 9 men and it's 9 in and it's 90 feet. Let's not try to confuse it and start bringing up cricket. Next you'll have the catcher catching barehanded, right? But anyway, what's the answer, my friend? You got any smart people out there?
I don't know. Let's tweet it out and see. I don't know. See if we get a listener to chime in. Why don't we have Henry come in next week and answer the question for us, Dr. Ray?
I don't think I can wait that long. I think I got to know right now.
Yeah, well, I have other puzzles like that, but that's probably my best one. So, you know, I'm waiting for an answer, my friend. You know, all those people, they can't text you. They don't know how to call you. How many listeners you got?
Well, it's a difficult question, Henry. I don't even know the question,
but you've been
the
around
answer
baseball
to it.
all your life, right? And
Exactly.
now you ran into Henry's baseball club, and you realize how little you know, right?
Henry knows it all. Henry.
All right,
Dr. Ray, what do you think it is?
I got my book open. Tell me what Dan Jennings does. Who is
Nothing.
Huh?
He doesn't do anything down here. We know who he is.
Who is he?
He's the new manager for the Miami Marlins, isn't he?
He's the GM. You know?
Huh.
It's
Man,
it's got pictures and titles. It's a book. I purposely picked Miami, but if I pick another team, you won't know, right? If I said Milwaukee Brewers, right?
We probably wouldn't know, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really get that much information from the Brewers down here.
Maybe it'll look and maybe ever heard of Doug Melvin?
Yep.
Never. Oh, you have?
Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club?
Yep.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
Yep.
No? Or how about
Yeah, I've heard of.
Yeah. How about the Mets, my friend?
Who's coaching the Mets right?
Huh? You ever hear of Sandy Alderson?
I haven't heard of him.
No? Okay. How about the Phillies? The guy that's always in trouble. His father lives right down the street there from you, you know. He used to be a shortstop for the Yankees. Yeah. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Ryan Sandberg?
No, Ruben Amaro Jr.?
Oh, Amaro Jr., the general manager.
Yeah. His dad lives right there in Florida. And he used to be the shortstop for the Yankees a while back, if you want to look him up on Baseball Reference. You know, you guys know a lot down there. You know? How about the Pittsburgh Pirates? How about the Pittsburgh Pirates, my friend? Yeah, who's the GM for... huh?
No idea.
No? Neil Huntington? No?
No, the only GM... Yeah, I think the only GMs I think I know is Bean. I think Theo. That's probably about it right there. I mean, I know Amaro Jr. just because I hear it all the time.
Okay. The Giants were in the World Series last year, so this guy's name was brought up over and over. The Giants GM, who is he? His name was brought up over and over. Dan, do you know? I'm trying to get you in the conversation. Dan, do you know?
Bobby Evans?
No. The GM for the San Francisco Giants.
Brian Sabian?
Yeah, you got it. You got to explain to those guys. It's a baseball show. They know nothing. Let's do the Cardinals.
Henry knows it all.
Okay, tell me about the Cardinals. All right, how about this? The Major League staff. In other words, the staff on the field. Who's the coach for the St. Louis Cardinals?
Matheny?
Yeah, Mike Matheny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's the bullpen coach?
No.
Jose Aquendo? I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's my mistake. Blaze Ilse. My mistake. The bullpen coach for the Cardinals. My mistake. Henry's not perfect. My eyes aren't what they used to be. You know?
Man, Henry's perfect in my eyes, Dr. Ray. What do you think about this?
Well, what team do you know pretty good? What team do you know pretty good?
The Marlins. Only the Marlins.
Okay, fine. We'll do the Marlins. Let's see. Let me turn the page back. Okay. Okay. Tell me who's some of their scouts, or who's the national cross checker, the national supervisor, the Southeast supervisor, the West Coast supervisor, the Canadian regional supervisor. Huh?
Oh no! Listen. I know the answer. I know the answer, Dr. Ray.
You do.
All I got to do is call my buddy Henry from Henry's Baseball World, and I ask him.
Yeah. Okay, so you know Dan Jennings, right? You heard of him. Who's that next guy under him? Who's his assistant?
Mike. What's his name? Mike Hall or something like that.
You got the first name right.
Yeah, man.
With a B. Mike B. Burger. Huh? No? Am I way off?
Isn't it Mike Hall?
No, Mike Burger.
Mike Burger.
Yeah. How about who's the bullpen catcher for the Marlins?
Oh, Pudge Rodriguez.
Tim Smith. You know?
Man, I never heard of him.
Well,
what about
Maybe you don't know your own club there. You know?
Who's the third base coach? Henry, who's the third base coach? Is it Cookie Rojas?
No, Brett Butler.
It's Brett Butler?
According to this book, yeah, Brett Butler. When this book came out, this is 2014 book, so it might be a little off, but, you know, a lot of it is correct. You know?
That book is old because Jan Dennings is now our manager.
Okay. Well, it's possible. You know, people move around. The current book doesn't come out till late, you know, toward the end of the season. So, anyway, what do you guys want to talk about tonight?
Well, I think we got to move on to our next segment. Henry, you're taking up all of our time. Henry!
Yeah. Well, did you find out what overload training is yet? Did you figure out the 6-12 play? Huh?
I think we're going to wait until next time to talk about all those stuff. And what's the answer to the question, Henry?
Well, why don't I give you one for free? How's that? This way,
there you go.
Maybe you ought to write some of this stuff down in case somebody calls and you misplace it. The 4 items to send to a pro scout or a scout director. Okay, why don't we do that? Is that okay?
Love it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, let's. You're the expert with baseball. Go ahead and tell me what would be item number 1.
No, we're the experts in slow pitch softball.
Oh, okay. So if you had a recruit, he wouldn't. He would just show up, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, show up. Hey, You got a glove and a bat? Let's go.
Okay. Well, pro baseball is a little different. You're expected to show like a resume. You know, where you train and all that, and who your coaches were, because they can call up, because they don't like to waste their time with these guys. I had a dad call up a while back. He said, Henry, my son is a home run hitter. I said, how's that possible? The guy can't even run that good or even hit. So he said, well, he accidentally hit the ball, and it went 35 feet. The pitcher ran up, threw it into right field, and the right fielder took his time about getting the ball. So now he's a home run hitter, Henry. You know? He said, wow, you should have seen the drive, Henry. He drove it so far. It went 35 feet, Henry. He finally made connection. You know, that's what I got to deal with. So that's why MLB likes to check people out before they even invite you or anything. So what would be the first item that you would send to a pro scout, a guy that gets to find you, or somebody that would welcome you? What would you send to him? Anything? Nothing? You wouldn't send him a player profile?
Highlight video.
Yeah. Wouldn't you send a player profile? Wouldn't be the first thing on the envelope? And the second would be 8x10s in color, or a video of you hitting a home run, a real one, or how you play second base or right field or whatever, or maybe batting, some action pictures, if it was 8x10s in color. So this way they see if you're an athlete. They're not looking for a guy that's got a 60-inch belly, right?
Nope.
No? Okay, so those are the 2 items. Number 3 would be a schedule of games, would be number 3. And number 4 would be any write-ups in the paper. So
nice.
You put those 4 items in an envelope, and you send it to all 30 scouting directors, and you try to hope that somebody calls you. That's how it's done, my friend.
Nice. Do you follow up with them? Send it out?
I do what I can. I don't deal with first-round draft picks. I deal mostly with the guys that are lost. Or we had a guy a while back. His name was Sullivan. He was a first-round draft pick by Oakland, and right-handed pitcher. He was with Team USA and all that. And he got about $2 million, but most of it he had already blown by the time he called me and wanted to play independent as an outfielder. So I did what I could for him. He did get a shot for a while, but I don't think his arm could even hold up. You know, it's just overuse and the fact that he could throw that hard. So that's why he got his money. But he should have been a little more thoughtful about where the money was going, as opposed to having all his friends come over and buying a house and buying cars and, you know, wild women and fast cars and all that. And cerveza fría. I don't know if you speak a little Spanish there, my friend.
Cerveza fría, of course. Claro que sí, señor.
Oh, sí. A ellos les gusta mucho la cerveza fría, señor. Y mujeres, y carros rápidos. You know,
there
I
you
got to work
go.
my Spanish, my friend. You know, because sometimes I get a guy that just came here from, Venezuela or Puerto Rico and doesn't speak the language, you know, or Dominican Republic. So I got to work my Spanish sometimes, you know. But anyway, those are the 4 items that I would put in an envelope and send to a pro scout or a scouting director. Okay? Does that sound pretty good or not?
Sounds great. Sounds
Good.
great, Henry. Henry, thank you again for coming on the show, man. Henry'sBaseballClub.com, Henry. And thank you to your guest. What was his name again, and where was his website, CoachUp.com?
Yeah, Coach Up, Dan Flores. I think it's Major League. Go ahead, Dan. You want to talk?
Yeah, so on Coach Up, you find me, just like I said, CoachUp.com, and just type in my zip code 91016, and you will see me, Daniel F. I'll come up a superstar right there, and you can't miss me. I'm located in Los Angeles, so you'll easily find me there. Or my own company is BigLeaguerBaseball.com.
Yeah, I'd like to leave.
Oh, I think we lost Henry, but thank you, Henry, and thank you, Dan Flores from CoachUp.com. And Henry, you could always find him, Dr. Ray, Henry'sBaseballClub.com. Dr. Ray, I think we got to move on to our next segment because we have our next guest on the line.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Gabe Caride from ISPS, the Florida State Director.
Listen to the Hot Corner Show every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the ISPS Radio Podcast channel. Call the show at 347-637-3978 and talk sports and health topics with Dr. Ray. Plus, slow-pitch softball from around the world with Manuel T. Ferrero III, fantasy sports, special guests, and more. Call the show now on the special guest call-in hotline at 347-637-3978. Now, bring your A game, because you're about to experience the Hot Corner.
All right, everybody, we are back in the Hot Corner, and we're ready to rock and roll here with our next segment. We got our Florida State Director from ISPS, Mr. Gabe. As I used to call him, Caride, but it's actually Caride. Gabe, how are we doing tonight, my man?
What's going on, Ray? How you doing?
Good to have you on the line with us, my friend. How you doing tonight? You doing well?
Good, man. As good as it can be. Just got off the phone with a few others in regards to our upcoming tournaments, which is good. We're pretty much up and coming and growing and just can't complain. I think everything's headed in the right direction for ISPS and got some good news. And hopefully, everybody here's the good news and everybody's listening. So hopefully I'll give Manny an opportunity to say something as well.
Uh-oh. Gabe, you know what that means? That means that we got a text, we got a call, or we got a tweet. So, Manny, what do we got going? Somebody wants to talk to Gabe. Tell me, what's up?
Actually, no. Actually, we got 2 people here on Twitter that I think this is the answer to Henry's question. What? Maybe we could ask Gabe also. What can any other position on the field do except the center fielder? What do you guys think it is?
What could it? What?
Man,
I'm sorry, say that again.
What can every position on the field do except the center fielder?
That's a tough
Man,
one.
I'm so
You're stumped,
that.
huh?
I got no
well,
idea.
now that we got 2 followers here on Twitter, now it seems pretty obvious, man. Todd Kogan at T Kogan04 and Angela at ANG Hug. Their answer is catch a foul ball, which is pretty. Now that you think about it, it's pretty obvious.
That is pretty obvious, as a matter of fact. But, wow, yeah. Literally everybody else can do that. Shortstop, second base, corner infield, pitcher, catcher. Yeah, man, everybody can do it except for the center fielder.
Wow, man! Congratulations! Wow, these people, Todd Kogan and Angela on Twitter.
Wow, they got it. Well, hats off to those guys. Man, you're gonna have to send them something cool from ISPS, man. Some shirt or something. You're gonna have to
Definitely,
hook
man.
them up. They
Definitely.
knew it when we all got the commissioner, the doctor, and the state director. None of them knew. And you got to hook them up with some ISPS swag, my man. But I know that we had Mandy, you had a couple announcements and a couple different things. Let's get to it because I know Gabe wants to get to his major, big, huge announcement that everybody's been waiting to hear, man. So, Manny, what do we got? Anything else? Can Gabe get right?
Go on to Gabe. Gabe is the one. Well, actually, I wanted to talk to Gabe about the Florida State Championships that we just had this past weekend. Maybe we could talk to him about that. Gabe, what did you think about the Florida States?
I actually was very pleased, very happy to see teams from all over the place. We had teams from all the way up north in Jacksonville come down, which was a first for ISPS. We were having teams from the Orlando, Port St. Lucie area come down from prior years. And now we're starting to move on to, Jacksonville, hoping maybe we get a couple of Tallahassee and Panhandle teams come down for the following year. Like I mentioned, ISPS is growing, and, we are adding more directors, month in and month out. And I think the tournament itself went great. We had no issues, no complaints. The weather was beautiful, definitely hot. But again, we had great games, very even across the board. The scores were very close. I think I've only saw one run rule or maybe 2 run rules throughout, 50-something games played, which was great, showing that the playing field was evenly matched up. And I can't thank all the teams enough for participating and showing their competitive nature and their want to win for the rings.
Yeah, man, it was. I'm sorry, I didn't notice I was on mute. I was letting Gabe respond, but yeah, man, it was. And now that you reminded me, it was a hot day. But I I had the pleasure of having my own little office there in the trailer, Dr. Ray. So I stayed out of the hotness as much as possible. What did you think about that, Gabe?
Oh no, I understand. You love your AC, and by all means, you did a lot of work updating our online bracket, which is very much needed to keep all of our ISPS teams and fans and just family members up to date on who's winning and who's in the winners bracket and where their teams fall. Everything in general that you do, Manny, is a great thing for the game itself. And I can't ask for anybody else to be working alongside.
Relax.
I also
no. Relax about that, man. Don't worry. And it's true, man. They eat it up, man. They love all that online stuff. They love to see their bracket and how it's going to be and how it's going to play out and who they're going to play next and all that. You know how they eat it up.
Yeah, I truly believe that everybody does like to see their stats or likes to see information posted, and that's our next thing that we are both working on, and regarding to getting up to date live stats. That would be our next hump that we would like to take care of.
Yeah, our next mountain.
Yep.
Hey, so I know Dr. Ray is anxious to know what's the new announcement. What's the major announcement? I know we had a meeting yesterday with some directors down here. Great group of guys. What's the major announcement? Stop keeping us all in suspense, man.
All right. New announcement is that I would like to announce that Vicente Gomez, also known as Pito Gomez, will be now Florida State Director for ISPS.
Oh wow! So the Caride is stepping down.
Not so stepping down. I want to say stepping up to bigger and better for ISPS. Hopefully, I can do more on the national level, but also wanting to market, ISPS and do as much as I can on the back end, and give the opportunity for Pito to step in and show his expertise and his knowledge and his information, everything that he has for the game. He only wants to improve the game and not bring the game back in any way. I think he has a lot of good ideas that he can bring to the table, as well as experience in regards to playing the game itself, which he does. And he has a great team, of guys and directors underneath him that will definitely help him in any way or form. So I definitely think that Pito's the right man for the job. I think he's going to do very well. And I think a lot of teams already give him that respect. And I think we're going to be moving in the right direction.
Nice. Yeah, man. And I know you got a lot of personal things to take care of. Your plate is pretty full now, and all these tournaments. I know, it gets your plate gets full, man. I totally understand, man. And there's no better person that you have picked to for the job, man. I think this person is perfect for it, and he brings a lot of knowledge and not wealth, but wealth in other aspects, wealth to the whole organization, the wealth of knowledge that he has, and the I think it's all good all around for ISPS Florida. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yep. We also just, we intend to look into several different things in regards to, number one, our directors, the teams and tournaments just as a whole, but we also look at one specific director, which again was Pito, which stood out overall over all the rest, that brought so much more to the table, and also has that expertise, like I stated, and understanding what's needed for the game and what's best for the game. And I think that's the main reason why we made our decision, or I made that final decision on giving him the state director role. And hopefully I can myself bring more to the table, stepping off of the state director role and giving him a little bit more duties in regards to not just being a director, but now also, stepping up to the state director role, and he would have to be working with those other directors in our state. And I think he's the right man for the job. He works very well with others. So, again, congratulations to Pito, and I wish him the best. And again, I wish ISPS the best. And the only thing I can state is that as long as I keep going to my chiropractor, I think I should be all right.
Yes, sir. That's what it's all about. A nice plug right in there. The check's in the mail. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
No problem, Ray. Ray, let me tell you something. I wouldn't be where I'm at without you either, with my back pain that I get every once in so often, and take care of me. And let me tell you, if no one goes to the chiropractor, you should definitely look into it. You should always at least go once, get that experience down from and hopefully you have the time to go see Ray. And anytime that you guys have any issues, Ray can at least give you or point you in the right direction if, maybe chiropractic field is not for you. So by all means, I can't thank you, and I can't thank, Pito and Manny for all the opportunities that I've had so far.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. You know what's great? And it just kind of reminded me something, and
I think this is actually something I'm going to start telling my patients. But you know, you just started talking about all these things that you're thankful for and everything. But there's, you know, I was driving by, and you know how churches kind of always have a little thing on the side of them, and they have the little message boards up and that kind of stuff. One of them said, if you can't sleep, count your blessings, you know, and I know that, you know, we talk about counting sheep and doing all these things, and a lot of people really can't sleep. And maybe that's a good thing to do. Think about all the things that you're thankful for and all the things that, you know, all the blessings that you have, because we have a lot more than we know of nowadays. You know what I mean? And sometimes we forget about those things, and we focus on the negative, and that goes a long way into how you feel. Your body hears everything that your mind thinks. So just a quick note, you know, with Gabe right now, and everybody else, to stay as positive as you can throughout everything. And you know, you probably don't think about it, but even your chiropractor can probably help you out with that as much as possible as well too. So I know that we only have a few minutes left here on the show tonight. So is there anything else that you guys gotta get out there? What we'll do is we'll take the health topic for the week, and we'll just lead off the show next week with that, and we'll go ahead and kick off the show with the health topic, and then we can just sit here and we can corroborate about what the plans are with ISPS and all that. And yeah, Manny, have you given any updates or gotten any word on these? And I don't know if I should be saying this on the air right now, but anything with these softball bats that are supposed to be coming in, the Z4s, the Super Zs, and that stuff?
Oh man, you're a little late, Dr. Ray. You're a little late, brother. Yeah, we had them at the. Actually, somebody won them at the home run derby. Mr. Melvin Dasher, I believe his name was Melvin Dasher, from hitting gas from Jacksonville, Florida. He actually chose the Super Z, but I don't remember. Gabe, maybe you remember. What did he pick, the balance or the end loaded? Which one did he pick?
He picked the end load 26-ounce Super Z. And Ray, let me tell you, these bats are just unbelievable. I'll let everybody know that they're unbelievable. I think it's not just the Super, but the Z4000 and the Super Z are both phenomenal bats. They're great bats. The durability, the pop, just the feel for them is great. You know, I've been a Louisville Slugger swing for about a good 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years now. I'm sorry, and I haven't put it down since. But they're a great feel. They're great bats. And actually, we've been working with Louisville for the last few months now, and we have come to terms to help out and push their product as well, not just Louisville, some other brands as well as Reebok, Adidas, Dudley, and some others.
Man, that's great, man. I think what we got to do is get some of the pictures and some of that stuff out there on Twitter and on the Facebook page, and we got to go ahead and start showing everybody out there what's going on, man. ISPS is making some big moves in it, and a lot of it is thanks to Gabe, and of course to Manny. So I want to thank you guys for everything you do, making this show possible, and helping keeping everybody out there informed and entertained. We got about a minute left here, so anything else you guys want to throw in there? Gabe, I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. Congrats on the new position and everything like that. And before we end the show here, anything else that you want to throw in?
No, just I'm really happy to see that you're moving with your health and your chiropractic field and business, and same thing goes for Manny and Pito, and just can't thank everybody enough for their support, showing ISPS, all the love and support that they do and come out and playing the game that we love to play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Attaboy.
All right, excellent. Well said by Gabe. So we're going to go ahead and end the show right there, guys. We want to thank everybody for listening. We want to thank, of course, Henry from Henry's Baseball Club for coming out and talking to us and bringing one of his bring in one of his old players.
Prospects?
One of his prospects, and, somebody who's doing something good for the game as well, too. And don't forget, if you want to play ball, you got to listen to Henry.
Listen to Henry.
Listen to Henry. So Henry's a good friend of the show here. So I'm sure you guys know we'll have Henry on again soon, sometime in the future. Gabe, we want to thank him for coming on the show here tonight as well, too. Manny, we want to thank you for producing a great show as always. And with that all being said, we'll see you guys all next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about thyroids. We're going to be talking a little bit about headaches. And be sure to stay tuned for any of the special guests that we might have for next week. You never know who's going to show up on the Hot Corner. All right, so we'll see you guys all next week. We want to thank you all for listening again. And until then, everybody, be well and hit the ball long.
You've just heard the Hot Corner Show on the ISPS Radio Podcast Network with the softball-playing chiropractor and official chiropractor of ISPS, Dr. Ray Tolmos, and Commissioner of International Slow Pitch Softball, Manuel T. Ferrero III. Remember to follow the show and hosts on Twitter and Facebook at ISPSO, at DRRAYT. We hope you enjoyed the show and invite you to listen in to Dr. Ray and Manuel T. Ferrero III each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the International Slow Pitch Softball Radio Podcast channel at ISPSradio.com.